I could see that. Alright, let's dive into some green-red Sarkhan for the last segment today. I don't know how long we're gonna play this for, but it's this or the last one for tomorrow. We'll see how this goes. Oh gosh. I had a really good laugh. I had someone link me a thread on Reddit where someone was complaining about me, and one of the reasons they cited that I was unwatchable was because I was mean to people who thought the shuffler was out to get them. And they closed their statement with, the MTG Arena developer stated that the shuffler was actually rigged. And I was just like, that's just like... It's like, these must be the people who voted for Trump because they don't live in reality. They live in some made-up fantasy world where facts don't exist. Thorn Lieutenant is so good in this matchup. So I have to shock if I want to play a 3-drop this turn. It's probably just like Stomping Ground, Domri plus Shock the Vanisho. Because this sets me up to have a bunch of mana next turn.
Oh, have at it, boys.
Hey, Hankarino, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. The new triple blue command is really awesome. Sarkhans are not optional for this deck. The deck is significantly worse without them. The red matchup with this deck is very reasonable. It's a big, big reason to play it.
We begin. Your end has arrived.
Their hand must be pretty bad to, like, cast Frenzy with 3 cards in it. Alright, it's a good start for them if they have an instant or sorcery here. Yep, now we race. I'm attacking for lethal next turn. Just pretty sweet.
I will. Don't stop now.
They get to jump block, but
I will call the dragons.
as you will. So they gotta kill the Sarkhan, they gotta kill the Hellkite. If we'd have hit a land there, we actually would have had lethal, because we would have been able to down tick the Domri and have the Skarrgan Hellkite fight their 1/2. What is this bad against? I don't think it's very good against the Command the Dreadhorde deck. You can have a hard time there. It's not unwinnable, but it's tough. Thrashing Brontodon's great here. Lava Coil's great. Domri is not great. Llanowar Elves is kind of medium. Yeah, the Thief deck is probably close to impossible. That's probably the answer. The blue-green Thief deck probably gives this deck a very solid run for its money. We're just not quite fast enough to get under that deck consistently. That deck's very good against, like, mid-range, and this is definitely, like, mid-range aggro. I'm gonna cut a land. Let's get greedy on the draw and cut a land. Maybe that's wrong. I guess I'm cutting all my acceleration. That's probably wrong. Sweet. Lands that don't hurt me are great. I think the white aggro matchup is hard. I could see that. They get pretty big pretty quick. Without something like Chain Whirler or, without something like Chain Whirler or the other card. God, what's its name? Totally blanking on its name. Alright, so do I play this out into the Meat Grinder, or do I just pass? I think I'm just supposed to pass since this is face up. Yeah, I think Kiora is just, like, worse than Domri on average. This deck's just, like, so choked full of threes. I just don't have room to put another one in. Yep. You know what? Maybe it's better... You know, it's probably better to go tapped land Spellbreaker as a 4/4 here. That's probably the play. Thankfully, my opponent's incredibly unlucky. Their experimental frenzies have been less than stellar. Nah, I think playing Kiora instead of Twister is a pretty big mistake. Twister's very good in matchups like this against the red decks, whereas Kiora basically just doesn't have text. J Sims, thanks for the 12-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Get a sword to go with that shield. Basically, the TLDR is that Kiora is going to be good in matchups where this deck is already good. This deck is already very good against the various control decks in the format. That's where Kiora really shines, where you really need that card advantage. And we have such a diverse selection of threats that, like, I don't think we need extra help there. Whereas, like, Living Twister is very good against, like, red, white, and blue aggro. Because it's a blocker in 2 of those 3 matchups, and it turns lands into removal spells and other times. This deck's pretty reasonable against the Super Friends deck. Teferi bouncing Thorn Lieutenant's not good. You have Shocks and Lightning Strikes to finish off their Planeswalkers after they down tick, and you have haste threats like Spellbreaker to attack them down. My opponent should file for compensation for that experimental frenzy. It was not a good scene. Yeah, so the problem with your description there, Elekid, Domri making your 3X's into 4X's when it's a battlefield big game is like, you're trying to tell me that this Planeswalker is good when I have another Planeswalker out and I'm playing a big creature. So basically, the situation you're describing, I'm already like really far ahead in. So cards that are only good when you're already ahead because of other situations, we would generally describe as win more cards. So like, I get it, that situation sounds good, but the number of things that have to be going right for you to get into that situation is like really high. Yeah, as far as mid-range decks are concerned, I've really liked the Sultai-Soul Diviner deck, Zombie. If you think you might be interested in that archetype, it's worth going to watch on the YouTube channel. I'm gonna get Chain Whirler and just like curl up in a ball and cry here. If you are new to the channel and you haven't seen some of my stuff in the past and you hear Soul Diviner, that sounds sweet. It's one of the many decks that you can find on my website, magicesports.net. You can click standard decks at the top. Find a lot of really well organized page with deck lists as well as videos of me playing those decks so you can see how they play out. Vraska's Contempt is not a good Magic card. I mean, I would argue Vraska's Contempt is worse than it once was. But I think saying it's generically not a good Magic card is probably a stretch. It's definitely a card that is very reasonable in a variety of situations. So we're going to be stabilizing at a lowish life total here most likely, but I do have a lot of top end closing power here. So once we can actually start pivoting, we're going to close the game very, very quickly. I mean, not to a degree, those are kind of the same thing, Fuzzy Lemur. I would argue that the power level of magic cards is always contextual to the format in which they're being played. It's a good draw since we lost our mana dork here. Get to play another Phoenix out here, just like turtle. The context of the format is what dictates the power level of cards. And like, if Kazminia is a card that is frequently seeing play, Vraska's Contempt definitely goes down, because like trading 6 mana to exile a Planeswalker is not ideal. Turtle. Now we're at 12 here, which is like a pretty okay health total. 11. Slowly working our way down. Maybe I'm supposed to play Sarkhan and down tick him here, because then they need to like shock the Sarkhan so they can even think about attacking with the Pyromancers. If they attack, I'm blocking everything here, just like not close. Alright, so now I do this, and this down ticks to make a 4/4. And then if they don't, and now they're dead on board, right? So like they need to attack in and like clean some stuff out here. Maybe I'm supposed to go thing. I could see that. Like, I have another 4/4 in my hand, too. And again, just like, that's the big reason why this deck is good against red aggro, is not because of just all of our cheap interaction, because there's a lot of decks that have cheap interaction. The reason why this deck is good against red aggro is because when it's ready to turn the corner, it turns hard and fast and just punches them down. I cut a land last time, and I think that's wrong. I think I should probably trim the last one of these. So you get to block well, have a little bit of interaction, and then once you're ready to turn, you kill them in like 1 to 2 turns very quickly with your evasive threats. I think the Hellkite's better than Sarkhan, especially in the post-board games, because post-board my opponent's going to be bringing in a bunch of Lava Coils, which means the 5th point of toughness on my creatures is a big deal. I don't think there's that many Tecatli honor guards in the format right now, honestly, Persip. Thorn Lieutenant is much better than Growth Chamber Guardian against both red aggro and decks playing 3 mana Teferi. Because let's say you're on the draw and you play Thorn Lieutenant on 2, they play 3 mana Teferi, bounce your Thorn Lieutenant, you get a token and get to kill their Planeswalker. Whereas if you play Growth Chamber Guardian, they bounce your thing on 3, you're just like infinitely behind. Just basically can't catch back up. London mulligans falling down, falling down, falling down. London mulligans falling down. Now, please, Watsy. If this hand run off lands 2/3, it's very good. Phenomenal. The Tinfoil Hat Society has decided that they change the mulligan buttons on Arena to say keep X cards, and the only real reason to do that is if they were planning to implement the London Mulligan. So I'd bet it's coming if I was a gambling man. Greater Steven, thank you for the 3/4 of your support. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yo, bro. How you feel about my 3-4? 3-4's huge. Huge 3-4. Huge 3-4. This is my 3-4. It's beautiful. Do do do. Do 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 do. Dino Big Butt. I think graveyard-based cards like the new Planeswalker like that are probably going to have a really hard time in Modern because Dredge is arguably a tier 1 deck in Modern, which means people have a lot of graveyard hate. So like tier 2 graveyard strategies tend to be very bad in Modern because they get fringe sideboard hate from people hating on decks like Dredge. This is a chain whirler coming down. Whirly boy up in your base, shooting rockets in your face. Is there a Jeff Hoagland's greatest hits you can buy? There's a YouTube playlist actually. I don't remember. Marty's got a command somewhere. So, I've elected not to Lightning Strike the Goblin Chain Whirler here because I didn't want to get blown out by Collision Colossus. Which may or may not be wrong, right or wrong. Yikes. 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 We're running late, chat. I need a snack. What's going on, Ornell? Welcome back. We need you to set up a microwave cam. Here's the secret to beating the mono red deck. Always block. I elected to play the Living Twister as opposed to the Phoenix there because I care less about the Living Twister. Alright. They're gonna get to Frenzy next turn. Coffees for closers. Get to closing, Skarrgan Hellkite. Aye. Oh. Let's go. Wow. Their last card must be Frenzy, right? There's no way you skip playing Frenzy there if your last card's not Frenzy. Light 'em up. We're on fire. You are very dead now. I have a shock. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. For those not familiar, our opponent this match is Wyatt Darby, fellow member of Team Tempo Storm. I assume he's online. That's usually about when he fires up. Usually, I often host him when he's done. Really? He's not actually. Weird. All these streamers playing offline. Is that even allowed? Are streamers allowed to play Magic Arena while they're not streaming? This matchup's pretty hard for us. This matchup is hard. Especially when our start's bad like this. This deck demolishes Esper control. Your variety of threats that this deck gets to play are very, very good against Esper. Nullhide is definitely a tempo card. 10 out of 10 agree that Nullhide's a tempo card. So I think this is the play. I guess Shock's not very good in this matchup. I suppose it kills their random other stuff. I think this is fine. I could maybe be sold on Legion Warboss being okay, but if they come up the board... How do you feel about Legion Warboss versus Gruul Spellbreaker? I think this might be better, especially on the play. Like mono red splash Llanowar Elves. Let's do it. One turn late, but still welcome. Welcome to the jungle, baby. Next turn we can go like Tibalt plus Shock or Tibalt plus Coil and attack. Real slow start for them.
I would be honored to pray. The more, the messier.
They kept 7, right? So their hand must have some good stuff in it. Right. So I assume we're gonna see like a Planeswalker come down and finish this off next turn. I don't have that much pressure left outside of that. Really need like a Sarkhan or a Dragon here. I was gonna say, Wyatt actually hasn't been playing Ritual, he's been playing Finale. Which they were functionally the same there.
My friend is here to help your pain.
Now, if I'd have had something like Legion Warboss, the finale probably would have been much worse than Ritualist. Unfortunately, looks like we're just not going to do a whole lot this game. Screw tends to beat Flood. Sure. Get the cast down to like cover my next dragon. Eugene. Yikes. Yep.
Do not defy the design. Ether itself serves me.
Well, I mean... I get to kill Ugin, so like, if they're as unlucky as we are, we could maybe still be in this game, but they're average card quality. It means we're probably dead here.
Petty squabbling.
I would like to test a new hypothesis.
See him pick a Jade Light up here. Ugin.
The past is never
Sure.
forgotten.
Yep. Spellbreaker, I don't have in my deck. Legion Warboss would be an okay draw. It would die to the cast down, but then my 2 creatures would kill their Tameo. And that gives me a window to draw a Sarkhan. Hey, Houseboy, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Hope life's treating you well. Thanks for keeping me playing this one with that. That was probably the best draw in my deck.
Let us fight. I summon you.
It's probably the best draw in my deck, because it lets me do this. Like both of these out.
I guess I cracked first.
And like now, if they want to Sarkhan down, if they want to Ugin down tick the Sarkhan, my 1/1 Devil gets to kill their Ugin. Fluffy K, thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate the third of a year. Welcome back. Oh, I guess they get to do this. They get to cast down first. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm hoping to draw a Shock, a Lightning Strike, or a Haste creature to finish this Ugin off. This Ugin gets to start drawing cards. We're back to being in a bad spot. So top deck hero. Legion Warboss would have been the Stone Cold Nuts there, because it would have been a really efficient pressure that would have finished the Ugin. Nit Zero, thank you for re-upping your Prime support this month. Welcome back. Still have a window to draw a Haste creature, but like if they have any sort of removal, that is no longer an option. We have Shocks and Lightning Strikes in our deck still. What do we got? They keep looking at the graveyards. It feels like they have another... They keep looking at my graveyard too. It feels like they have a Dreadhorde and they're like trying to decide like how low they want to go. Seems pretty good.
Feel the heat of my flames.
Taking the Sarkhan here means that they get to close the game out pretty quickly.
Coming.
Yep. Dragon, please. Dragon, please. Yeah, if we find a dragon, we're pretty done here. One of the like drawbacks to this deck over the Ghost Dragon coming out with the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. One of the drawbacks to like this deck over the Black Red Aristocrats deck is this deck basically never gets to draw extra cards, which is one of my, as a Magic player, let's be honest, most of us have the guilty pleasure of enjoying drawing cards. So the black red deck's like an aggressive deck that like gets to keep a group full of cards in a lot of games, which is enjoyable to me. Sand's a little bit land heavy, but Living Twister turns them into Shocks. So if my opponent's playing an aggressive deck, especially, this hand's a very good keep. Rains it pours. And of course, they're gonna be like playing Grixis, so my hand is just like dog poop bad. Yeah, Bantu is a really solid addition today in the red black deck. Yeah. Never lucky. Is it crazy to just concede here? Can I just scoop? Do I show them a forest or do I concede? I'm gonna shock and pass here. I'm gonna hold on full control mode so they can't thought erasure me. And I'm probably gonna concede. There's so many people in High Mythic playing Grixis. I wonder if people are actually going to play that deck tomorrow. Yeah, I really hope they do too. Playing with and against Grixis has both been unimpressive for me so far. I'll leave a couple of Lava Coils in for killing 4-mana Nick, but the rest of this just like swapping these for other removal spells. Yep. I don't have enough twos to bottom that, I don't think. Yeah, Grixis is definitely the type of deck that does better in a more narrow field. Sure. If having 2 3/0 is nice. It means I have a play regardless of thought or sure not. Scale of 1 to dead. Where's the Spellbreaker at? Yikes. Ooh, found a piece of candy. Alright, don't perform a ritual next turn. Don't do it, have a heart. Don't perform a ritual. Oh, you're casting Discovery in this economy. Yikes. Alright, so I'm getting Lava Coiled. A second. Shock myself. Cast a second Discovery. Yeehaw! Alright, they got a freebie game 1. We got one that's mostly free game 2. I guess we're only putting them to 1 here, huh? They could like ritual me and we could never catch back up. I'm not playing the land because if they play 4-mana Nick, I want to hold my Lava Coil. Yep, alright. This is the part where we, they stabilize at 1 and we never get it back.
Snobs. Let's just fight. Oh, I wish you could see your face while I'm beating you.
Alright. Little birdie, gonna bite the big one. Do 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 do. Domri makes Sarkhan a lethal drop. He also gives us a 5th piece of mana here, which is nice.
They can only punish you if they catch you.
There aren't any shocks or lightning strikes in my deck right now. I boarded them out. Yeah, we've got 3 of these. We've got 3 of these. I've got 2 of these, and I've got 4 dragons. I assume we're gonna see them get a Sarkhan and make a 4/4.
Why be a beast when I can be a god? The dead. I will spare you.
Oh,
In exchange
is that all?
for eternal
Alright, we got like 7 outs here.
for your cause.
Alright, I lost to Grixis controls. I'm kind of off this deck. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. I've been live for like 9-ish hours. I will catch all of y'all around later. Everybody, have a good one. I believe the Day 9 MTG is online, so I'm gonna go ahead and send you over his way. Hopefully catch y'all on the morrow. And by that, I mean it's Saturday tomorrow, so I won't be online. So follow me on Twitter for notifications and Twitch when I go live in places, and I also post in Discord if you're a sub. So everybody have a good one, and catch you around later.